Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and welcome to my house. In this video, I want to show you something that I haven't done before, I haven't tried before, I haven't practiced. And it's part of me cleaning up and securing my PDI. I'll link to another video above of where I put on multi-factor authentication. In this video, what I want to do is I want to inactivate all of these users in my PDI that don't need to be active because I'm not using them and it's my PDI. So there's over 978 users in there, so I'm going to not script this because that would be too easy to open up script designer or script background scripts. I'm going to go into Flow Designer and we're going to see if we can do this with two things, a flow and my first stab publicly at a decision table. I actually haven't done one of these before yet, so let's go ahead and try this. We're going to inactivate all users. And obviously there's two users that I'm really concerned about inactivating, and that would be the admin, which is what I'm logged in as, and my mid-server user, which technically, like I went and looked, it doesn't have a login. Here, I'll show you here. My Windows Docker user. It doesn't have a login date time, which I found interesting because my mid-server is working great. And notice it was created back in September of 2022 and has been plugging along. That's how I do a lot of my stuff, but it has no login time. But I'm going to do it anyways. We're going to set this trigger to a catalog item. I can deal with a catalog item later if I want to. And I'm going to go ahead and look up all the users in the system. So we're just going to do a lookup records and let that load up a table there, and I'm just going to type in sys_user and scroll down to users or user. Let's see, I scroll too far. It's because you guys are watching. All right, sys_user. And I can actually do this right here. Let's just make sure that my user ID is not, if I do that, I don't need a decision table, and I really wanted to use a decision table so I didn't have to keep coming here and adding this flow. So let's not put any criteria on there. That means if I don't do the filtering here, I'm going to have to do the filtering in the decision table as I'm looping through, which is fine because it's easy to go update a decision table. It's a bit longer and harder to come in and update a flow. Harder is, I'm using that term loosely. But let's go ahead and add some flow logic here. We're going to do for each. Should I do while? No, let's just do for each because I'm going to want to look at every single one of these records. And right behind my head there, you can see the user records. So I'm just going to drag that over to the user records. And we'll do that, and now I'm going to do make a decision. So let's do make a decision, and the decision label is going to be inactivate. Oh, this will be fun. To activate or inactivate is the question. All right, let me type that in. Now, just have a little bit of fun. Now, I don't have a decision table yet for this, so let me go ahead and hit my save on my flow in Flow Designer. That's just going to save the work that I've done so far. And then I'm going to create a new decision table. And this is the part that's really new for me. Yes, I've been in here before. Have I been here with Utah? I don't think I've been in here with Utah. My PDI is Utah release at the moment. I'm recording this in the middle of while I'm doing all those Utah videos. So this is going to be new for me, hopefully new for you. Or if not, if you're an expert, you can yell at the screen and tell me what I'm doing wrong. We're going to call this decision table users not to inactivate. Not to inactivate. And we're going to leave this in global. I don't really care about all that. And so we'll create and continue. This is something I should be able to recreate if I ever want to do it, so I'm not putting this in a scoped application or anything. And I really don't need any inputs for this either. Do I have to specify an input? I bet I do. So I bet I have to specify a user. So let's go ahead and we'll just call this user, and this is going to be a reference to the sys_user table. I think I have seen this before in Decision Builder, where when you go to do this, select a reference and it fails to fetch, we get these internal server errors. Don't freak out. What I've learned is just keep on going, start typing and type what you need. And it's going to keep happening until I get all of that typed in. User. I could be typing too fast, I don't know, but I just learned that don't freak out. And so we're going to pass this a user record. There we go. That's my, okay, so there's my record. This is going to be mandatory. We definitely want that. And that should be the only input I need. And the conditions, all right, let's add a condition where username, is it username? What do I want to do? I want to do user ID is probably going to be easiest, right? User ID, so let's do user ID. user ID. I don't need a description, but my input's going to be my user, and it's a reference record, and then it's going to be condition type reference. And actually, so this is interesting. I don't want to evaluate the whole record. I just want to evaluate that user ID field. So let's go ahead and say field there and search for, I'm going to forget the same error before, user ID. Okay. String default operator is, and we'll just say, is, oh, value. Okay. So admin is the first one. Let's double check that. Actually, I have this one highlighted. Let's just go ahead and copy Windows Docker 01 and do that first in my decision table instead of admin. And then I'm going to say add a result, and the result is going to be true or false. And let's see, do I have true or false? I do. There we go. And it's going to be false. Perfect. And I'm going to add a new one. And this one is going to be my admin user. Let's just make sure that is admin. It is admin. And so we'll go back to our decision builder and just type in admin. There we go. And it's going to be false. And that's it. If it's anything else, I need to return true. So actually, I'm just going to, when I do this decision table, if I get back a false, I'm going to skip and not do it. Okay, that's going to be the logic here. Again, I'm new to these decision tables, so I'm figuring this out as I go with you. So we'll go ahead and save this. And yeah, this should work. I'm going to do this 978 times, because that was a lot of users. So there's potential this flow could take a really long time. 978, that's okay though. Okay, my decision table is built, and so I'm going to close that, and that's going to open up all the decision tables. I'm back in Flow Designer. Now I've got to pick my decision table, which was Inactivate. Uh-oh, it doesn't see the new one yet. Hopefully, like, what did I call that one? Users not to inactivate, not inactivate. All right, execution, first decision that matches, and where the input is going to be the user record in the for each loop, which is kind of behind my head. So it's right there. I'm going to grab not the list of user records that we used there, but actually the user record is what I want there. So we'll grab that and put that as my input to the decision table. All right. That's going to return a true or false. I wonder if I need to edit that decision table. Can I edit it from here? I can. Okay, I found out something new there in Flow Designer, so I can actually edit a decision table right when I'm in the middle of it. And what I'm thinking here is, do I need a condition where if it's not that, if it's this is false, if this is false, otherwise it's true. So so we'll just say, let's see, is not empty, okay, and then we'll just say true. And because of the logic on the flow, when it reaches that first one, Windows Docker 01, it's going to say false, admin false, otherwise it's going to inactivate, which is true. Okay, that's exactly what I want. So close that. All right, one little tweak there. And so my decision is going to be true or false. Done. True or false. False is going to be, let's just save this, see if I get another one here. Because I just added the true condition to my decision table, so I was expecting, yeah, there we go. So if it's true or false, if it's false, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to, I'm not going to do anything. There's no reason to do anything. I don't need to inactivate it, but if it's true, we're going to inactivate the user. So we're going to update the record, and I'm going to drag my user record back over there. I dragged it to the wrong place, and we're going to set the active field to, which I love this, like everywhere else is true false, but here it's just going to be an empty box. I'm not going to do anything there. Click done, and that should be everything I need. So let's save that. And let's walk through the logic one more time just to make sure you and I understand. I'm going to look up all the user records in the system. Again, that's 978. For each item in there, I'm going to call a decision table. That decision table is going to return back true or false. If it turns false, I'm not going to do anything. If it returns true, I'm going to update the user record and set to inactive. That's the idea there. Let's go ahead and test it. We'll pick any rhythm in the system, and I'll run this in the background because it's 978 records. I don't know how long this is going to take, but what should happen is I should start seeing the list of inactive users start growing. So it's running. We'll click on the flow context to see it there, but let's go ahead and go to the user table and let's group by active. And I've got 141 at the moment that are inactive, 836, so you can see it's moving through there. Let's just refresh there. Okay, good. It's inactivating everybody, which is what I want. Refresh. Wouldn't this be cool if I locked myself out of the system? Yeah, it's powering through it. It is almost, it's got 621, or actually 619 to go because we left 2 as they're going to stay in there. Now to 495. This is actually moving a lot faster than I thought it would. Let's go ahead and refresh this. It's not showing any execution details yet, but let's just hit refresh again. And I've only got 351 still active. I don't know what's the difference between this false and that false, and why it's grouping them separate. That's interesting. Well, let's just see what's in that first one. Oh, the user ID is empty. Okay, so that's just going to stay false. I didn't do anything in my flow where I was going to activate somebody, so that shouldn't be affected. Let's just hit refresh here. Okay, I only got 147 left. How could this be any more live to do it with you guys? I've inactivated 830 users in my system. I'm thrilled because I really want to protect my PDI. Let's just hit refresh again, see if we're almost there. Got 147 left. It seems to have stuck there. It's not changing. I can't refresh. Okay, it ran into an error. I've got an error. Operation against sys user is aborted by business rule. Ensure active admin remains. Okay, so that's interesting. Which one did it? Showing last 192, so I'm not going to be able to see. So somehow it tried to inactivate my admin, and it shouldn't have tried to inactivate my admin. Let's just search for user ID again there. He's still active, admin. My email address is there. Let's see if my Windows server is there. Windows Docker is still active. Let's go back to that decision table where we can edit it from Flow Designer. I just want to look at that real quick again and see, did I do something? Did I type in admin wrong? Because they said is was the qualifier, admin or is Windows Docker mid-01. Okay, so there's that one. It would return false. And if it's admin, is admin, let's make sure there's no hidden spaces in here. Is admin. Should not have tried to. Did I do this backwards? I think I did this backwards. False means don't inactivate. True means inactivate. And it should stop at 2 because 2 is, once it finds a match, it should stop. It shouldn't go on to row number 3 in the decision table, even if it's admin. It should not do that. Let's just go back to Flow Designer. First decision that matches, I'm not going to run all decisions, right? So I have it all set up. It should never have tried to inactivate that one. Let's make sure if it's false, it's not going to do anything. If it's true, it's going to inactivate them. So I don't know what it ran across there, but you know what we can do? Let's do this. I'm going to change my, let's close decision table there. I don't need to do anything else there, I think that's good. I'm going to close this history. I'm going to modify this lookup user records. I am going to set a condition on it. I'm going to say look up where the user is active. Okay, that way I'm not going to get all 978 and have to loop through them again. And then my window or my amount of stuff, I should be able to see why it's erroring out. So we'll just say active is true, done, save, and we'll be able to test this again. We'll run it on the same rhythm. We'll run it in the background. There we go. Running. There we go. And let's go back to get rid of my search there on user. Okay, so now it's powering through. I only got 82 left there, 24 left, and it's going to error out again, which it looks like it did. Test run error, and showing the last 71 of 147. And so what we want to do is get to that 71st record there, and that is where's the error message? Oop, right there. Right there's the error message. Okay. This evaluated true. Let's look at the logs. Error occurred against this user was aborted by a business rule. Same errors we got before, but I can't tell what user it is. Answer, variable name, answer, runtime value, record not found. So I'm stumbling across some user that it thinks is the admin. Is there another admin user? Let's look at these 24 that are left. I've got admin, I've got empties. Is there another admin user? Got empty. I could add another decision that if it's empty, go ahead and deactivate it too. Oh, Sam, software manager. I wonder if that's an admin. So somebody in here is an admin and it's not letting me inactivate it. Which is good. I don't want to inactivate an admin user. I just need to figure out which one it is. So let's go back to my decision table and I want to modify one thing there. There's my decision table. Let's open it up. I'm going to do if the user ID is empty. You saw those two empty ones there in the list. I've got Jim Matthews, Amy Chen are both empty. I want to inactivate them. And then I bet it's this Sam person. Let's just look at Sam and see his roles. Does he have a admin role? I don't see an admin role on him. Just search for administrator. Nope. This is puzzling. But my Windows server is still there, my admin server. Okay, so let's go ahead and open that record. I'm going to do is empty. That's going to return a false as well, or true. Is not empty, and then if it gets through all that, it's going to be is empty. Okay, we're going to return a true. And hit OK. And I'm going to save that. That should get it and activate the empties. Close that. And let's see if we can narrow this down to who this person is. When I look this up, I'm going to change the sort or the order by. And it's been going A to Z. Let's go ahead and change the Z to A. And what that'll do is let us narrow in on who this user is causing the error that I can't see in the logs there. So we'll test this again. Run in the background. Wait for that to finish there. Good. And let's just go ahead and hit refresh. 22. Don't tell me it errored out already. It did. It errored out on the third one. So okay, who was the third one if I go Z to A on those trues? Let's make sure we're sorting by user ID. 1, 2, 3 is the Windows Docker 01. That's the one it's erroring out on. Why isn't that matching? Let's open that user. Look at the user ID. Windows Docker mid 01. Let's go to that decision table. Did I type it in wrong? Ah, here we go. I can already tell you, man, in Utah, just working in Flow Designer and stuff is already faster if you learn to wait on things like that, where you click it and nothing happens. If you just wait, be patient, it'll eventually work. So let's make sure Windows Docker mid 01. I did is value Windows Docker mid 01. And it should have returned false. And if it returns false, it should never get to that. It should stay right there. So why was it erroring out? Interesting. I could catch the error, but then that's, doesn't really tell me why my logic should be working, where it should be returning. Do I got a log on the decision table? I don't. Just where, okay, here we go. Oh, it's doing it on Sharath Ladjasetti. Sharath Ladjasetti is an administrator? Whoa, what happened there? that's a first. You're seeing that live. I've never seen this before. Let's see if we can get to our users again. All right, let's take a look at Sharath. It's right there. Last logged in 2019. Roles. Let's do star admin. It has got a bunch of admin roles and has the admin role. Interesting. So did you guys know that in my PDI, Sharath Lagisetti is an admin, and that's where I'm airing out. So, wonder if it'll let me do that. The user cannot be activated as it would leave fewer than the configured 2 active application administrators. All right, good to know. So I'm going to just set the password here to a bunch of nonsense. Set password. Or actually, this is leave without saving. Let's try that again. Bunch of nonsense on the password. I'll hit save. That way, Sharath must contain at least one uppercase character or letter. All right, bunch of nonsense plus one uppercase letter. Jeez. And we'll save. All right, and then I'm going to have that user ID in my decision table, and then we should be good to go here. So I'm going to add another row. And let's move that one up to just below. Can I move it this way? There we go. Drag. Oh, please drag. There we go. Right there. And we're going to say is Sharath.Lagisetti. Enter. And we're going to turn false. So all that's good. So I've got my mid server, my admin, and this random person I had no idea existed who's also an admin. We're not going to try to inactivate him. Done with my decision table. And we'll go back to our flow and we'll run it one last time, and I think we should be done. So we'll test, same one's fine. Let's go watch our user table. And this should go to 3. I should have 3 active users left once this is done. There we go, I'm down to 3. Should be Windows Docker 01 admin and Sharath Lagisetti, and this one should have no errors on it, and Flow Designer has run completed. Okay. So now I've got a working flow. Now all of you know what to do in your PDI if you want to inactivate everybody. I have one last test before we go. I want to see if I can still impersonate. I didn't know the answer before I did this, so let's go ahead and try someone who impersonation. Who am I impersonating? We'll impersonate another user. That's interesting. Recent impersonations. I can only impersonate 3 people. So let's say Able Tutor is not found. Okay, so I'm not able to impersonate anybody in my instance who I've inactivated, which is fine. This is my PDI. If I do a demo, I can go activate the person that I need to, and then if I do that a bunch of times, and now I have a flow where I can go run it real quick and inactivate everybody. So I'm happy, mission accomplished. I've secured my PDI both with multi-factor authentication and inactivated all the users who don't need to be active because I'm not using them in my PDI for what I do. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested in inactivating hundreds of users in their personal developer instance. And until next time, don't forget to always be learning.